Well, there's a first. Hi guys, welcome to this squeaky chair. Honestly, it's been doing my head in all day. Um, there's a first. My Zoom was not connecting. Not. Apologies about the delay if you are here slightly late. No, it's bang on 5 o'clock. Never mind. No apologies. I'm right on time. Welcome along, guys. I'm really sorry about the squeaky chair. I'll try not to move as much. Thank you so much for joining me. Really sorry there's no filter on this. I'm not using Zoom, which actually has a little bit of a filter and you don't realize until you use this. So yeah, there we go. Please, if you're watching this, type it in live or type in hello, type in your name, give me a wave, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up. Please, it is Christmas. Tell me you are there if you're watching. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully we can get some really good information to you. Please drop in the comments now if you are watching so I can see that you are there. I have some really awesome things coming up for you in today's live. So strap in and let's go. So this live is all about being able to break free from your yo-yo diet thoughts and drama so you can actually see some lasting results. So the problem that I see a lot of is that those of you and clients, and I see it a lot, you often get stuck in your own head, right? And this really keeps you on the same path of continuous destruction, continuous yo-yo dieting, because you are stuck in your head, creating and mulling over all of this thoughts, all of this bullshit drama. And this is what's actually keeping you from the lasting results. So if you feel like you're a yo-yo dieter, if you feel like you've had thoughts around yo-yo dieting, maybe feel like you are a failure, maybe feel like you suck at diets, maybe feel like whatever you have tried is just not working for you, or maybe you feel like you're broken, then these are all thoughts and drama that is based around yo-yo dieting. So if you're thinking, oh my God, that's me, then stick around because this is essentially for you. Hey, Carolyn, thank you so much for joining for the Christmas. Guys, this is the last live that I'm going to do probably before the new year. Let's face it, next Wednesday, I am not going to be here. So this is the last one before New Year's. So if you are watching this after New Year, Happy New Year. If you're watching this live or now, have a really good Christmas, guys. Anyway, this isn't the end, so I'll wish you a Merry Christmas afterwards. So often, if we are stuck in our own head, we are suffering with these yo-yo diet thoughts, or the drama, or the bullshit in our heads. We can often experience a bout of really discomfort, like really uncomfortable feelings and thoughts, okay? From frustration and self-blame. I see this a lot. People are frustrated with the system, the diet themselves. They blame themselves for these diets that are designed to not work, that are not designed specifically to work, and that are also kind of personable, right? Just because your friend succeeded to lose weight on a keto diet doesn't mean that it's for you, right? So if you are one of these people that have tried something and then you blame yourself for it not working, then I see that a lot, right? We blame ourselves. Oh, I must be useless. I must suck at being able to stay motivated, right? I feel you, I understand you, and I know that that's how that can feel. Sometimes people get obsessive thoughts about food, maybe about your body image if you're stuck in this yo-yo cycle and this diet cycle. Emotional turmoil, of course, it's like up and down, it's like a freaking roller coaster, and it can be really upsetting and super distressing. And that can often lead to like cycles of restriction and binge eating, binge eating, which often also, by the way, sets your body up for like survival mode, right? I was actually talking about this in my group coaching call today. Often when we get stuck in this cycle of restriction and binge eating, our body then holds on to any potential weight, any extra fat that we might have, and it holds on to it as a safety mechanism. So next time when you drop, or when you kind of starve yourself or fast for too long, your body is going to hold on to that, and because it's like well, we don't know when we're going to eat again. We don't know when we're going to feed again. Um, and often we will go on these like fasting experiences or super restrictive experiences or diets, and our body actually doesn't change because it is in that survival mechanism mode. It is trying to hold on to your body fat is just surviving, right? And so we often feel like, oh, we're going to over restrict, and then we over restrict, your body is holding on, and then we don't get the results that we want, right? And then often from not getting the results we want, we go, oh, fuck it. Well, even fasting didn't work for me. Even that didn't work for me. And then what happens after that is more dangerous to our health because we didn't lose the weight, even though your body just needed a few more weeks to convince itself that it is safe. And then we often fall into these pits of self-destruction, right? And that's more binge eating, less binge eating, more punishment and reward systems. Um, Also, having a lot of this yo-yo diet bullshit and drama can cause emotional and even social isolation. I see this a lot. People get stuck. I see this a lot in my clients as well, where people will end up not socializing, not going out, not participating, not going to see friends because they're actually embarrassed of how they look or how they feel. And 100% of the time, people feel worse than they look. And it's that self love, self appreciation that is really, really low. And I see that a lot, especially with yo yo dieters, because of that. I think because it comes from a lack of self discipline and self love, which I've talked about a lot recently, that we have this really, really low self esteem and we don't think highly of ourselves and we feel like we look like this entire like a farm tire, or I've heard beached whale, I've heard seal, right? Whatever people want to relate themselves to, it's because their self-esteem is so low. And this often ends up into turning into a desperation for a quick fix. And then, of course, on top of that is just this overall general negative body image. So anyway, if this is kind of like all these thoughts and stuff stemming from yo-yo dieting, especially someone who is constantly yo-yo dieting. So if this is something that you have experienced, or currently are experiencing, or even if you know someone who's going through this live is going to be really, really useful for them. If it's someone that you know, please by all means point them in this direction so that they can get the help, the free help and trainings that I'm providing. So if this is for you, I've got, hang on a second, I didn't count them. One, two, three, four, five. Five big tips for you. So stay tuned because there's a lot of information coming at you. I've got 5 huge tips that is going to help you regulate regulate your thoughts, neutralize them, neutralize the drama, eradicate that so you can actually move out of your own shit, out of your own way, so you can get some lasting results. Okay, before I do, I just want to quickly tell you about the January sprint workshop that's coming up. So we had the Christmas workshop for success, so you can lose weight or maintain through Christmas and not put anything on, so you're not in a negative or in a deficit or starting from a deficit by the time January comes around. Now, of course, if you're watching this, you're probably, because I don't think many people at the moment here came to that. It was a good turnout though. But if you are watching this and you didn't come and you need a solid plan in place, I highly recommend jumping on the January Sprint Workshop. It is going to be posted in this group very soon. If you're watching this, then I want you to write or DM me the word 50 and I will give you 50% off the tickets. That's my Christmas present to you. Okay. So DM me the word 50 and I will give you 50% off the January Sprint January Sprint New Year's workshop. That's going to be about the Christmas one was 2 hours long. I provided a workbook with it as well. Just insane value, insane time. Just insane all around. So if you're interested in actually succeeding in 2024, creating a solid plan that works with your unique lifestyle, whether you are the weight that you want to be or not quite, or even if you want to lose a bunch of weight, wherever you are at the moment, it is going to meet you there and help you plan all the way through 2024, so you can see the end of year exactly how you envision it. Without a solid plan, it kind of all goes to tits. Trust me, I have been there, I have done it. It often just falls off track, and life happens, life gets in the way, and I don't want life to be just the thing that gets in the way of your health and your goals in 2024. Right, so that's the January Sprint workshop. If you want 50% off tickets, just DM me 50, just the word 50, and I will give you the link for the discount. Anyway, so my 5 top tips, just to let you know, of course, I have saved the best one till last. The best one is going to change your freaking life, especially if you're a yo-yo dieter or have experienced it before or have a friend. It is going to change your or their lives. So please stick around for the 5th one, and I'm going to try and go through these very briskly because we all have shit to do. So the first point I want to make is really approach your health, your next diet, with extremely realistic expectations. Okay, don't suddenly predict out of nowhere that you are going to do that you are going to succeed beyond all expectations, that this is going to be so different, right? Because what happens, especially if you're a yo-yo dieter, is you will either go into it with expectations that you will fail immediately because you feel like you have always failed previous diets, or you're going to go into it going, oh my God, this one is different, this is totally different. Of course, I invite all of my new clients to go into our our one-to-one coaching program with that mindset that it is different, because my coaching is freaking different to any other diet program out there. However, the problem is, especially if you're a yo-yo dieter, you are most likely setting up some unrealistic expectations, which then, when it doesn't go as you had planned or wanted to, or if it doesn't go as planned and wanted to, then you either have this idea that, oh yeah, see, look, I told you I'm absolutely useless, or it feels much more difficult to deal with if it doesn't work out. Okay, so what I want you to understand is that your thoughts and opinions are always there. Okay, they're always going to be there. You might have a thought or an opinion about a diet or your abilities or capabilities, but I want you to realize that everything that you are thinking is a thought. Okay, so it does not mean that it is reality. It does not mean that you are a failure, right? It is your job, however, to notice that these things can change, and they will change when you decide that they change. Okay, so if that makes sense, I hope it does. If it doesn't, I just kind of explain that again, because in my head it probably doesn't make sense. So your thoughts and opinions can change. You have the ability to change them, but they are just thoughts and opinions, right? So if you have a thought and opinion about yourself, about a particular diet that you're about to embrace, whether it's keto, whether it's plant-based, whether it's whole food plant-based, whatever, if you have thoughts and opinions about that, that is only your thoughts and opinions. It is not fact. Okay, and the good thing about thoughts and opinions is that you get to change these, right? But it is also your job, it is your responsibility to change the negative thoughts. Okay, so how does this tie in with realistic expectations? Well, make sure that your realistic expectations aren't, I'm going to fail at this, but your realistic expectation is, I'm going to give this a good damn fucking go. I'm going to give this a good damn try. I'm going to give this the best try I possibly can, right? So you have a realistic expectation. The expectation is that you are going to give it a try, not that it will not that you will fail, or not that you will completely succeed, because realistically you have a history of falling off the diet that you're on. Okay, so especially if you go into something without my coaching, I want you to think realistically. And the reason why I say without my coaching is because without it, I'm assuming it's going to be, or I guess without specific coaching, um, it will probably be a diet as opposed to a lifestyle change, if that makes sense. So be realistic, look at your past habits and figure out. No, I'm going to give too much away. I was going to say, and figure out what doesn't work for you, okay? And create a realistic expectation from that. Please let me know if I'm making sense and if you are following along with me. So, top tip number 2 is to practice self compassion and love. Again, I've been talking about this a lot. I want you to replace self blame with self compassion. Okay, so treat yourself with kindness and understanding rather than a harsh criticism when facing setbacks in your diet journey. Yeah, ask and be curious as to why something happened, not blaming and judgmental as to something happening. Oftentimes, we don't give ourselves that love and respect, and we are extremely harsh on ourselves. I am extremely guilty of this. Yeah, I am extremely guilty of this. So, I am also always practicing self love and self compassion. Okay. So, as soon and if you've watched any of my videos before, you would have heard me say this before. But we always need to approach things with curiosity versus judgment. If you approach it with judgment, it's more like, oh, well, you failed at that, you were useless. Why did you do that? Right? Why did you eat a snack? Why did I eat a snack? Or why did I overeat at dinner? And it's kind of very short, very rhetorical. Whereas when you are curious about why something happens, it opens up a bit of a dialogue and space for you to start learning about your actions, your habits, and your behaviors. Okay. What I mean by that as well is I want you to hear the difference in like my tonality here. And this is exactly how I hear my clients say it. Well, I don't know why I ate. I was just feeling I was feeling gutsy and I was just being greedy, and so I just overate. I don't know why I did it. Versus, I don't know why I did it, but I'm curious to learn why, right? Now, those specific words might not come out of your fluff everywhere. Those specific words might not come out of your mouth, but when you exchange that energetic, the energy, the different energy between them, they are huge. Judgmental is criticism and punishment, whereas curiosity is open and learning. And that is the most incredible thing about just changing your perspective. Please let me know if that makes sense, and please let me know if you're still with me. Okay, number 3, I want you to focus on progress, not perfection, right? Don't forget, we are talking about ways to overcome all of the yo-yo dieting bullshit and drama that your head is producing. Okay, so you can actually get out of your own way. So I want you to focus on progress, not perfection. So celebrate all of the small wins, all the small victories, all of the tiny little steps of progress towards your healthier choices, your healthier habits. Yeah, understand that setbacks are so freaking normal. They are part of the process. If we didn't have setbacks, we wouldn't be here, right? That is part of it. But every positive choice that you make is a step in the right direction. So figure out what you have learned from each of the things that you've done before. Notice that there's got to be a win in everything, right? If you failed, failed is the worst choice of words right now, Bianca. If a diet didn't work for you, I want you to have a think about it and figure out what a win is from that. It could literally be, I worked out that that diet doesn't work for me, or I found that a particular food group gives me energy. I found that a particular food group doesn't give me energy, right? Little things like this, it could be a win. So it could be a 6 month or a 1 week diet, doesn't matter. Find the wins in it and start learning that every single thing that you do is a learning step, right? Whether you learn something positive or negative from it, it is a learning step. And you can't beat that. You can't beat that. I said to someone the other day that failure, I think I posted it as well. failure isn't failure. No, failure is just learning what doesn't work. They're my words, so I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember them. Failure is just working out what doesn't work. Okay, as soon as you switch that thinking around to the positive side, everything becomes more doable. It becomes easier and almost like you want to do it. Okay, number 4, I want you to address any emotional triggers. Okay, so the reason why you're staying stuck is likely because there are emotional triggers in your life that have you reaching for food. What I mean is maybe you are constantly stressed at work. Maybe your boss is a pain in the ass. Maybe your kids are stressing you out. Maybe your husband needs divorcing, right? Whatever it is, whatever your emotional triggers are that keeps you looping back into this yo-yo diet cycle, that needs to be addressed. Okay, that massively needs to be addressed because otherwise, no matter what diet you approach, if you approach a diet and you are still stuck in or receiving these emotional triggers and you don't address them, no matter what it is, you're always going to stay stuck on that yo-yo diet cycle. So please understand that if you have an emotional trigger or consistent emotional trigger in your life, that needs to be addressed first, not the diet, not the chocolate bars, not the binge eating. The emotional trigger needs to be dealt with first. Otherwise, you're always going to have that stressor in your life. And we know that stress increases our weight, it increases our fat accumulation, it increases our cortisol. We know that stress is not good for us, nor good for weight loss. Get rid of that emotional trigger. Right, number 5. You've all been waiting for it. This is the biggest one, okay? Da-da-da. I want you to focus on the person that you want to become, not the person you've been so far. I'm going to say that one more time. Focus on the person you want to become, not the person you have been so far. This is going to be your biggest needle mover, okay? If you are continuously thinking and mulling over and telling yourself that you are this person, you are a yo-yo dieter, right? If you opted in for this training or you've asked for it, then I guarantee you are thinking or labeling yourself as a yo-yo dieter. You are staying in an identity form of a yo-yo dieter. So you are addressing the fact that your brain or you believe that you are a yo-yo dieter. You are never going to escape that unless you change it. Okay, so not intentionally a trick, but a bit of a trick. If you're watching this, you probably, especially because I'm going to label the title as the fact that you are a yo-yo dieter. If you are a yo-yo dieter, watch this, right? Whatever the title for this video is going to be, you have identified yourself as a yo-yo dieter. Now you need to shift that focus from the person you have been so far to the person you want to become, right? This takes time, this takes repetition, and it takes consistency. But it's going to be the biggest needle mover. The problem is we are so focused on the person that we have been, not the person that we want to become, and therefore we are never taking steps to progress, and we are always acting in a way that confirms that identity. I work through identity shift with my clients a lot because unless they believe that they can be this different person, they are never going to act like it or want to act like it. Or self-sabotage is going to get in the way to stop them from becoming this person that they don't know who they are. Does that make sense? It's crazy how the brain works, absolutely crazy. So they are your five steps, okay? Let me just recap them for you. I want you to approach with realistic expectations, practice self-compassion and love over judgment, focus on your progress and wins, address any other emotional triggers in your life, and focus on the person you want to become, not the person you have been so far. This is how you are going to break free from your yo-yo diet thoughts and drama, which is holding you back, which is self-sabotaging you from seeing lasting results. If you're watching this, don't forget the January Sprint Workshop I am going to give you if you DM me the word 50 before the workshop, I'm going to give you 50% off your tickets. Okay. It's probably going to be another 2 hour long workshop. So 2 hours spent now is going to save you months and months and months of not doing, not progressing later on during the year. We will probably talk about all things weight loss. I will probably give you some great plans, some ideas, some food ideas. I don't know what's involved yet. I haven't completely planned it all, but it is going to be intense, jam-packed, and specifically designed to keep you moving forward. Thank you so much for watching this. Sending you much love. Merry Christmas and have a happy new year, folks. Take care, and I'll see you soon.